So we're going to be talking about overweight elements now. These are actually called super heavy elements, not overweight elements. It would be funny if they were actually called that. And there are multiple problems in how we made these overweight elements. The problem number one is radioactivity. Because the electromagnetic force is overpowering the strong nuclear force, which you can read it here. Electromagnetic force is the force which attracts unlike charges and repels like charges. And it's overpowering the strong nuclear force, which attracts quarks, the subatomic particles, and protons and neutrons. Now, the point of these neutrons is to act as a buffer for these protons, basically. That's why they exist. And because of the radioactivity, the price also goes up. Like, for example, something like lead would be way cheaper than something like mendelevium, which is basically an unstable element, like it's this one. This is the heaviest stable element, and like it's way cheaper than mendelevium because of how stable it is, so how easy it is to ship to other places. And also, there are low chances of them colliding together. So, basically, the masses of the tiny bullet and a huge target are very imbalanced, and based on quantum physics, it's counterintuitively quite unlikely for them to just smash into each other without just not colliding or not spewing out a bunch of stuff. Now, there's one advantage to this, which is lightweight bullet. This is the one reason that they haven't tried the solution, which I'll explain later on. Because it's very easy to shoot this into this thing. It's just very unlikely that they will actually collide into each other or not spew out a bunch of stuff. Now, here is the solution. Instead of using a small bullet, use a medium-sized bullet to account for the target being smaller and so stabler. Basically, the good thing about this is that like the target is stabler here. The one problem with it is that it's heavier. It needs a stronger accelerator. Thankfully, new technology came out at that time, so that was pretty good for that. But the two advantages are more stability and cheaper prices because of the more stable target. Now, fun fact, this is completely unrelated to that, but here are the magic numbers of like proton and neutron. So basically, protons and neutrons have these magic numbers that just make the element way more stable than if it was other numbers. And magic proton numbers and neutron numbers, they're the same thing, are 2, 8, 20, 28, 50, and 82, and 126. And two protons is equal to helium, 8 protons is oxygen, 20 is calcium, 28 is nickel, 50 is tin, and 82 is lead, and 126 is not made yet. Now, also a new prediction. There's an island of stability, and one of the areas of it is at 114 protons and 184 neutrons. That's where element hunters are going to aim, and then if we go there, it will probably do an alpha decay chain, which means loses 2 protons and neutrons. So we'll just go down and create some new elements along the way. And so this is how they made the new elements. If you want to, you can skip this part, but essentially they added chromium, which is element 24, with bismuth to make borium, element 107, and then they added iron and lead to make hassium, element 108. They added iron and bismuth this time to make 109, meitnerium, and they added shot nickel to lead, which made 110. They darmstadtium. They shot nickel to bismuth, which made 111. Roentgenium, sorry, it's kind of hard to pronounce. And they shot zinc to lead, which made copper mixium. Now, here's a history of the Ninov guy that was in the chapter name. He made Goosey, basically that analyzed alpha decay chains to confirm whether the new element had been discovered. Now, if you forgot what alpha decay chains are, they mean losing 2 protons and 2 neutrons, which is caused by instability, or another word for that, radioactivity. Now, this is how you use alpha decay chains to confirm new elements. So, basically, let's say you made 114. It will probably decay into 112 and 110, and then go maybe into 106, a kinda stable atomic number. And an insane prediction. Like, other people did not think that this was a good equation, but somebody thought this dude, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that, of shooting krypton 86 to lead 208 to skip to element 118, which also decays into 116 and 114, which made 3 elements. By common knowledge, this was very dumb because of how unlikely it was, but it was very low risk and very high reward. This is a very good picture of it, by the way. Look at that smiling dude. Now, to explain how dumb that equation was, let's go to the barn here. So a barn is equal to 10 to the negative 28 meters squared, and in the element hunting community, it's very easy to hit. And we're starting to get into the picobarns. That means a trillionth of a barn. But around element 114 to 117 is like hundreds of picobarns, or 0.1 nanobarns, which is pretty good. But for the equation to make this one, krypton 86 to lead 208 to work, might need one, might be less than 1 singular picobarn. As you can see here, this was like the island of stability here, 114 to 117, and then 118 it just dropped down here. This is a logarithmic scale, so it decreases by a lot every time. And so yeah, it would be pretty insane for that to happen. And then, long story short, Ninov said that he made it 118, 116, 114. Fraud was discovered. He was doing fraud, and then he got fired, and then blah blah blah. Who cares about history? Now, I didn't know what to write here, but here's some pretty important history that I left out. There was a partnership between the Dubna lab, which is from Russia, and the Livermore lab, which is from America, to make most of these next elements. And there was also a Riken lab, which is from Japan, that rivaled them to make some of the new elements. The other elements, such as this one, they were made by GSI. And then here's the second one of these tables. Again, you can skip this part if you really want. But the first one, moscovium, alpha decays into nihonium, which is 113. Calcium with plutonium, fluorovium. Calcium with americanium, 115 moscovium. Calcium with curium, 116 livermorium. Calcium with berkelium, 117 tennessemium, and krypton and lead made oganesson, which is the big heaviest element. Now, just a recap on what we learned so far. At first, we used beta minus decay, which replaces a neutron with a proton, to make new elements from uranium, plutonium, neptunium, shooting neutrons at it. And then the targets got too unstable, so the targets got smaller to be stable, such as lead, while the bullet became medium-sized to compensate for the smaller size. And then after that, alpha decay chains was also used to get multiple elements at once. So you'd basically just aim for a higher element and then just decay to some more elements down there. And these are all the elements that we made so far. 93 to 118. There are also plans for element 119. Again, if you forgot about it, Riken and Dumna Livermore, the partnership. Dumna Livermore here plans to make 119 by using element 22 titanium with 97 berkelium. Riken plans to use 23 vanadium and 96 curium. Now, other future plans, based on the magic number theory, 116, this is the slide that the thing was talking about, right here, 126. It hasn't been made yet, as you can see. Until now, it hasn't been made. I checked. Uh, 116 should I mean 126 should be another magic number, another magic proton number that we should probably aim for. Some also speculate of the number of 172 or maybe even 173. Some people also plan to switch the target and the bullet, but that will require a much stronger beam. But for now, 118 is still the heaviest element ever made, and its name is oganesson. Thank you for watching. Cool fun fact, I guess. I don't know why I added this.